Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the #1 Divine Intervention virtual event, the D.I.V.E Social-Summit for short. If you are new to D.I.V.E live online, then my name is Iona Meade, your big vision and mission purpose and founder of the Soul Speakers Academy and host for this interview series, where I've brought together 49 guest experts who I like to call soul speakers from all over the world, sharing with you soul-inspired, intuitive business, lifestyle, and marketing strategies for purpose-driven business owners. So throughout the 49 days of the Social Summit, I'll bring each of my guests into the Soul Speaker Spotlight for you. And they'll be sharing with you not only their free gift, but also their soul-inspired strategy for the day. So hopefully this interview is coming to you in divine timing, with divine energy and in divine flow. We know that the universe brings us what we need, but it's not always much fun to do it alone. So you'll be able to connect with me, my guests, and other like-minded attendees for the Social Summit in the Soul Speakers Tribe Facebook group to continue on the conversation. And I will put today's free gift, the link to that, around this interview. So we have about 20 minutes together today, and I'm going to introduce you to my very special guest. So please welcome Dana Zarcone. Hi, Dana.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Let me give you a real warm introduction. So Dana is recognized as a revolutionist in the personal development industry. Dana is a driving force in helping women who are spiritually stuck, overwhelmed, exhausted, stressed, or depressed to reclaim their feminine power, unlock their greatest potential, and dance with life again. She's the founder of Source Your Joy, and her motto is, "Joy is not a mindset or a feeling, rather it is an energetic way of being." I love that. So Dana is a psychosomatic therapist, national certified counselor, and certified core energetic therapist with over 13 years of experience. Amazing was what you bring to the summit. So guys, if you have any questions for Dana whatsoever, do leave them below. And again, you'll have the opportunity to continue on this conversation. So Dana, before you share your free gift that you've brought to the summit, and I thank you for that, can you share with our audience a little bit about how your path has unfolded and how you came to do what you're doing today?
Yeah, I'm happy to share that actually. I was in the corporate world for 24 years and I was climbing the corporate ladder and I got to senior leadership and I was really on the outside a mover shaker and really very determined in growing my career. And I'll tell you, I eventually got to the point where I realized I had absolutely lost myself along the way. I was being the awesome employee. I was catering to my kids, doting on my husband, and I was putting so much of myself out there to everybody else that on the inside, I realized I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy. I was living what seemed to be a very successful life, but on the inside, I was really just very, very, very sad and depressed because I wasn't living with accordance to my purpose and my meaning for this world. And so when I decided to leave the corporate world, I started to do some real discovery in terms of looking inside myself to decide what it was I really was supposed to bring to this world and I wound up becoming, really embracing my therapy background and helping women. I worked a lot with women who are depressed and women who are victims of domestic violence, and to be able to be on their journeys and to help them in such a way that I take them from, but he said he was sorry, to I deserve more and I'm going to claim my feminine power and I'm going to go out and be the best I could possibly be. It was such an honor to be with these women on that journey, and it just was something that I really needed to do for my work.
Wow, love it. Oh wow, that is, I sit here guys, and I don't know about you, if you resonate with that. Each guest that comes in to the summit, there's something that just feels so authentic, and I love that you say that you recognize, actually I had that bigger purpose inside of me, which our audience will resonate with. And taking that step to say, actually I'm going to leave the corporate world must have been quite huge, because like you say, you're doing all this stuff and you're doing it really successfully, but you're giving here, and if you're a mother, I'm a mother, and we try and do these things so perfectly over here and for our partners, our husbands, our wives, and in the role, and we sit and we think, gosh, is this it? You know, am I feeling fulfilled? And let us know, are you feeling fulfilled in where you are at right now? Because it resonates with me, because I was there, not with the domestic abuse or anything like that, but just as in not feeling fulfilled in my relationship and taking a different path in my work. And I'm sure that many people go through a similar experience, and I'd love to know your experience. And Dana, it intrigues me that the leap from the corporate world into the sourcing your joy and that depression and being with people and able to support them. How did that unfold in the sense of, okay, I'm sourcing my joy and I'm working with these women? How did you get to the point where it was going to be these kind of women, that was going to be your ideal client?
Yeah, I think it's really mirroring my own experience. So for instance, I was living my life by default, not by design. And because of that, I was withering away. I was dying on the vine, so to speak. And I knew in my heart, I had this just tug, knowing there's something bigger, there's something better for me out there. And I knew it with all of my fibers being that I needed to be doing something greater with my life. And it was a process to leave a very good 6-figure salary, leave the title, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is that I knew I was destined for something greater. And I'll tell you, originally I had thought that I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and I bless everybody who is. It just was not my style. Like, I really needed to contribute in a much bigger way.
Yeah.
And so I zigged and I zagged, but I eventually found my path. And when you find your path, you're so grounded and you have an energetic vibration that you can feel. It shifts. You're vibrating at such a higher frequency. You can feel it. And it's just an amazing process to go through. And when I was working with my branding consultant, we were saying, who do you want to help? Women like me who, when you're in the corporate world or you're an overachiever, there's so much of us we leave at the door to try to play a part and be the way people are expecting us to be, act, behave. There's so much of us that we leave behind in order to succeed. And so I wanted to focus on women that were overachieving women like me who were blazing a trail, but at the same time, they're sacrificing who they really are. And so it was really important for me to do that. And when I worked with my branding consultant, we went through so many iterations. And when they came up with Source Your Joy, that's it. And even the tagline is equally as powerful: dance with life again. And it's just so powerful around truly dancing with life again. Live your life by design, not by default. Dance with life, feel joy, get to a place where you have sustainable joy in your life. And it's not just a momentary feeling that you have every once in a while. It's so powerful.
I love it. I love it. Source your joy. As soon as Dana and I were having conversations and we were connecting, and she just said, source your joy, I'm like, boom, I get it. I love it. I love it. So that brings us really nicely into your free gift. So guys, if you are at that place in your life where everybody wants more joy, right? But not that temporary kind of, well, I'm trying really hard to be joyful, and I'm doing this and this, so everybody's telling me. It is that internal journey and process, as Dana talks about. So Dana, you bring to the summit, and I appreciate your gift. Dana shares, and again, I'll leave the link for you to grab Dana's freebie. I give you full permission to multitask and grab that, because everybody wants more joy. So you talk about the 9 top strategies to bring joy back into your life. Can you share with our audience a little bit more about that?
Yeah, this is, if you Google joy or you Google happiness, and you can find all kinds of stuff on the internet. And they do say, to find your joy, connect with your inner child, go skip, jump rope, skip down, across your lawn and do these things. All of that stuff, yes. Does it make you feel playful? Does it bring joy to your life? It does. But again, like we mentioned, it's momentary, right? What I'm talking about is truly being able to have a life where you have sustainable joy. You experience joy on a regular basis. That does not mean that life is a bed of roses, because it is not. Yeah. But it does mean when you have this capability, when you have joy in your heart, the hard times can be hard, but they're not so hard because your heart is full of joy and you're full of love. And you are able to approach life in a very different way. So my freebie really talks about the 9 top strategies to source your joy. And it is about surrendering to your feelings. It is about being able to look at, feeling your sadness and your grief. It's about surrendering to your anger and your rage. And we all have it. And there's so much of us that live on what society has told us is good or bad. It's good feeling or there's a bad feeling. I'm trying to wash all that away. There's no good feeling. There's no bad feeling. They're all feelings. And it's 100% okay to have all of your feelings and to truly own everything you feel and to surrender to all of that so that you can be 100% authentic and grounded in who you are. And so these strategies that I've outlined are very, have a lot of substance to them, because it's not source your joy. It's not 9 top strategies of go watch a movie that's going to make you laugh, or, make Rice Krispie treats with your kids. This is really, truly hard work. But it's a recipe that I've outlined that if you do these things, you will find sustainable joy in your life.
I love that. Mute yourself a little bit. If you scroll on the screen, you can click the microphone. That would be great. Thank you. Love it. I love you touched on so many points that I want to address, and hopefully you can hear me really, really well, guys. Sorry about that. That's what happens with Hangouts sometimes. But you touched on so many points. I'm like, wow. And sourcing your joy and it being sustainable, and just really finding ways to actually feel all of your feelings, just being okay with feeling your feelings, whether it is anger, rage, and for me, the sadness and the grief. For those of you who don't know, my son passed away. He was 19. And I really resonate with Dana's message, because I'm able to come from the place. And the reason why I get it is because when you're on one side of not sourcing your joy, and when you're on the other side, you realize how far that you've come. So if you're not there yet, I do invite you to just work through it. And as Dana says, it is hard work. But I realize that I am sourcing my joy, because even in those moments, as Dana said, it's a rough deal, but it's not as rock bottom as what you would feel without tapping into that, without going through some of these steps that deeper, not just the surface stuff. And Dana, I know that you talk about, and you've touched about the owning your rage and your anger. What I love is that you touch on unmasking your fear, because I was someone who was stuck in fear of failure, fear of success, fear of selling, and it's not a great way to be and live in life and to run a business. Can you talk about the unmasking your fear part of it? That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Fear is paralyzing. It is absolutely paralyzing to people. And you hit something that I was really very glad to hear you say, is that people think of fear as, I fear snakes, I fear failure, I fear, but what you nailed it is people are afraid of success. They're afraid of truly feeling vibrantly alive, because feeling vibrantly alive and holding that kind of energy is scary for people. Until you start to really feel it, surrender to it, and then you are amazed about how your vibrational frequency changes. Your body will vibrate. I mean, it's just the most amazing thing to really have that energy in your life. And fear is a really big immobilizer. It paralyzes us. And once you admit what you're truly afraid of, whether it be fear of failure, absolutely, fear of success, but you can really get specific that I'm afraid of being success. I'm afraid of being successful. Even for me, starting my business and going global, going bigger than just seeing clients in my office, I realized I had that fear. Oh my God, what if I get too big and I won't be able to handle it? And oh my gosh, I don't know how to be really successful. But you know what? I will be as successful as God wants me to be successful, But fear is a really big paralyzing emotion, and letting go of that fear and surrendering to it and feeling it 100% and owning it, that's where the transformation happens. Is by truly working through that.
Yeah, for sure. I know that you talk about, that higher consciousness. And I do believe that. And that's the space that I came from in terms of what I call a poverty consciousness and a prosperity consciousness. And, you know, tapping into that and learning that really helped me to be more joyful and recognize actually what space am I, you know, am I being, you know, being in my being from and being present with, and building the relationships around me with clients, with joint vision partners, and just how I'm operating in the world. And when you come from that more lax space or that fearful space, you don't feel as joyful because you're kind of blocking it off, or you're putting a limit or a lid on it, right? Can you talk about that higher consciousness? We know that, and we know about the law of attraction, we know about raising our vibration, but how do you relate that in terms of your joy?
You know, the one thing I think is really, and I hate to use this word because I think it's overused, but it is a very, very valuable word, which is being truly 100% authentic, because it's about embracing all aspects of yourself and what I would term the good, bad, and the ugly, because you really are, we have defenses, and these defenses have been put in place because of trauma that we've experienced in our early formative years as a child. And we have been jaded, so to speak, when we were young, and we've learned what is acceptable and how to act, behave, and be in order to be loved, and in order to be accepted by our parents, our caregivers, accepted by society. And the reality is trying to really just shake that loose and really become 100% true to who you are, all aspects of yourself, and to love yourself unconditionally. Because we are the way we are, we have the defenses, we have the mask, we have this lower self energy, all of that's there, and it was there for a reason. But now it's about really taking responsibility for that, and about owning that and working through your stuff. I mean, my business is more about healing your wounds. You know, when you truly heal all of these wounds that you've experienced when you were young and that you've repressed and you've held them in bay, they freeze your energy, they freeze you up. And when you are willing to heal the energy there and heal those unhealed wounds, you really free yourself up to be vibrant and alive again.
Yeah, and to dance with life again. I love that. So Dana, guys, if you would love Dana's free gift, then do get it. In the back of your free gift, you talk about rating your joy and where you are currently and where you want to be. We don't have time to talk about that right now, but do get it, guys, and let us know. Again, if you're here on Dana's Feature Day throughout the Social Summit, then come into the Facebook group and ask her any questions. And if it's not Dana's Feature Day, do come over anyway, because we want to know about your experience about tapping into that joy. So Dana, can you share, we're going to go to the Soul Inspired Strategy of the Day. And if you're new to D.I.V.E Live Online, this Soul Inspired Strategy that each of my guests are sharing, we're sharing with the free gifts, steps, tools, tips, strategies for you, the practical things. And the Soul Inspired Strategy is about helping you move and feel your way in your life, your business, and your marketing, and being more joyful. So do share your Soul Inspired Strategy for the day, Dana. That would be great.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it really is about embracing all aspects of yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. And any advice I give anybody, if you want to start feeling joy again and you want to start feeling radically alive again, it is all about breathing. That is the very first thing I have my clients do, is once you start breathing, we cut ourselves off from feeling by holding our breath. And if you can just learn to breathe, and that's the very first strategy, the very first thing that I tell all my clients to do is breathe, and breathe deeply, breathe with meaning, breathe with purpose. And that breath, you'd be so surprised how transformative it is just to breathe. And it's a great starting point for people who really truly want to surrender to all aspects of themselves and who really do want to source their joy.
Oh, love it, love it. Oh, it's brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Dana. So I'm going to wrap up today, and I'll ask you if you have anything that you would like to add. So again, do share with us in the Facebook group your experience, where you are at on the joy scale. Do grab Dana's freebie and let us know, where you're at and what your goal is and where you want to experience more joy in your life or your business, and the marketing, because sometimes as purpose-driven business owners, we're like, don't really want to do the marketing. I didn't really sign up for the business and all that stuff. And you can be joyful throughout your day in every area of your life, in your relationships, just being joyful with you and dancing with life. I love it. So hopefully with this interview and the Social Summit, we are bringing massive insights and breakthroughs and shifts and ahas and divine downloads for you. And if you are someone, I say in the Social Summit, if you are someone who wants to provide that transformation in the world, then being more joyful and coming from that joyful state is gonna attract the people that you want to serve to you. We do believe in transformation. Each of my guests, all of the 49 soul speakers, Dana and myself included, believe in the transformation. And we know that transformation begins one person at a time. And that person is you, because there's nothing worse than I've experienced it in feeling fearful behind closed doors, or, you know, experiencing certain things and being too afraid to actually just own it and feel all of your feelings and not make yourself wrong, right? So that begins with you. And I'm opening up my bonus training. It's called Speaker Soul's Message 101, and my enrollment into my Soul Speakers Academy, where I share about getting your message out there on Hangouts, virtual events, summits, and radio, being more joyful in your marketing, being more joyful in your business, connecting with the people that you love. And if you love what Dana is sharing, then she's also going to be contributing to what I call my Uber giveaway, along with all of my soul speakers. It's so powerful, because I find often when we focus on one area of our life, whether that's you're building your business and you've got that soul-sucking day job, at the same time, or you're just transitioning, there's so much to do that other areas in our life become less joyful, and that's a shame, right? It doesn't have to be that way, just working through it. So we're not going to ask you to pay for the replays of the interviews. They're there for you. The free gifts are there for you. Again, I'll put the link around this interview for you to grab that and continue on the conversation and share with it. If you know that somebody could use a little bit more joy, and they've gone through whatever they're going through in their life, and you know they could do with you reaching out to them. So Dana, I think that's it from me. Do you have anything to add before we hop off?
No, I mean, just really about, you know, again, source your joy, dance with life. You know, if you make this more of an adventure and a journey, and take away all the stress and just enjoy yourself, you know, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have, you know, as your life, and all the energy and the beautiful people around you, like the people you've been interviewing for the last several weeks, and you know, and really tap into that and really take a lot of that stuff at heart.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dana. Right, so that's it, guys. I look forward to bringing you another soul speaker into the Soul Speakers Spotlight, sharing with you more soul-inspired, intuitive business, lifestyle, and marketing strategies. This is Iona Meade signing off, saying I'll see you over at www.D.I.V.E Live online. Take care, guys.
Bye.